Welcome viewers to the Personal Injury Law Show. My name's Tony Carbone. I'm a personal injury lawyer of over 25 years experience. With me tonight I've got John Karantzis, a partner in the law firm. Good evening, John.
Hi Tony, hi viewers, hi Viv.
Hi John.
And Vivian Ryan, former lawyer, come marketing guru. Good evening, Vivian.
Hi Tony, hi viewers.
Tonight, viewers, we've got a very interesting guest who's going to talk about asbestos with us. His name's Josh Fergeus, but that's after the break. Before that, we're going to be talking about quite a few articles, John.
Well, before that, Tony, what's in the news?
Well, there's been a lot of stories in the news, but the one that's really of interest is this kid tattoos alarm. Viv, this is a case where you've got a lot of youngsters, minors, that are getting tattoos from the age of about 10 upwards by backyard tattooists and also other kids at school. What do you think?
Yeah, it's really alarming, this sort of behaviour happening in our society today. Clearly, everywhere you go, if you're on the beach, you can see pretty much everyone has a tattoo these days. So this is really concerning because contracting hepatitis C is not something you want for anyone, but certainly, you know, it's a concern because people are doing them themselves, people aren't sterilising, and it's really, really difficult to govern, I guess, is the issue.
John, if you go to one of these tattooists that ain't properly sterilised, can you sue in these circumstances?
It's a big problem. If my children were going to go to one of these tattoo parlours, I'll be going there with them and asking them to show me their insurance certificate because I will be suing them if anything occurs.
And are they insured? That's what worries me.
Well, this is concerning, but what rights can they sue people who haven't actually been given their consent, you know, by tattoo? If tattooists aren't asking the question of minors and getting their consent, can parents sue? I
think they can, Viv, because at the end of the day, anyone under 18 can't really engage in something as invasive as that. And also, the thing is, they've got to be using hygienic practices and that. I mean, I recall my older boy wanted to get a tattoo and I said to him, make sure hygiene's high priority and also go to someone that's recognised, but not these backyard jobs.
Tony, you just don't know. You're taking a chance.
And the other thing before you move on is that a lot of children are actually purchasing these do-it-yourself kits online. What recourse do parents have in those circumstances?
You might be able to sue the company that provided the actual kit.
Yeah, right. But it's also concerning because by extension of the lack of sterilisation within the tattooist parlours, you know, there are a number of nail technicians as well that perhaps don't strictly adhere to...
That's a good point, Viv.
So, you know, in that regard, can people also sue if they've been, you know, given some horrible illness when they're getting their nails done?
In the end, why get these tattoos?
John, it's just a trend. Everything in life, there's trends. And sadly, that's the trend at the moment.
This trend will last for 50 years, Tony.
Right.
Yeah, no, it is a problem, John. But at the end of the day, if it's going to happen and we're going to get it done, I guess the key to it is that it's done in a hygienic environment where people apply sterilisation techniques and safety's paramount.
And this sleeve tattoo, what's all that about, Tony?
Yeah, it's definitely a fashion item, but I think it also comes back to the way you parent sometimes too. I mean, my husband and I have often talked about how we can discourage this sort of behaviour from happening with our young children, and I think as a parent it's about educating your children to, you know, have knowledge and understand that these are long-term
implications.
They're long-term accessories.
Yeah. Well, Viv, the only reason my son got away with it was because he went to the grandparents and he showed them a picture of baby Jesus with the father, and so they thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, of course.
Anyway, viewers,
that raises a whole other issue.
Viewers, this is something where we do want to get your Facebook comments and also Twitter. It's a very hot topic and it concerns everyone in the community, so please send us your views about this topic. John, WorkSafe told to lift its game. There's about 10 tradies a day getting injured, and they've spent over $1 billion in the last 5 years on injured tradies. What's that all about?
The key is WorkSafe need more inspectors out there, Tony. There's not enough inspectors. There are workers out there doing their jobs, trying to, you know, get paid an honest day's living, and the employers, they're taking shortcuts, they're not providing a safe work environment. WorkSafe need more inspectors out there. You know, that Grocon site where, you know, the wall fell on those 3 people and killed them, that's a disgrace. There should have been more inspectors, that should have been shut down. It just can't occur, Tony. We see this time and time again.
John, the sad thing about that case involving the wall, and Viv, is that it was heritage listed. I don't know how such a crappy wall could be heritage listed, especially when it's not properly braced. And I mean, there's issues also, council.
They didn't have a permit. I mean, there was other issues in relation to advertising that had been placed on there. I mean, the investigation is still ongoing, but just coming back to the tradesmen getting injured 10 every day, that's alarming.
It's a lot of people.
But a lot of these tradesmen are self-employed. Can they sue?
John, this has been very hot, and in a lot of instances, sadly, the tradies aren't taking out proper insurance. They haven't got proper work cover, or they haven't got proper sickness cover. Is that correct, John?
Exactly, Tony. Every tradie out there, you can't rely that you'll be the employer's insurance will cover you. You need to have your own insurance, don't they, Tony?
Especially if they're subbies, if they're subcontractors.
Exactly, because we find that most of these tradies, they could be working at one site one day and then another site the next day.
So they're not doomed employees, are they, John?
Exactly, and that's the problem that we're coming across time and time again, Tony, aren't we?
Exactly.
And some tradesmen deal in cash-only business, so...
Oh, I highly discourage that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean,
you're simply not covered.
But even if they are cash only, can they still obtain insurance?
Well,
or
it's
how does
problematic.
that...
It's problematic. It's very problematic. I mean, this cash business is just going to send you down the drain if you get injured. It really will.
Exactly.
Apart from the fact that the community can't get the funds we need to support our budget.
That's right.
But not only
That's
insurance,
a whole other issue.
Insurance cover, but income protection, Tony. There are some tradies out there that don't have income protection insurance.
Exactly.
What's going to happen when you get injured and you can't pay your mortgage? Well, your house will be gone.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's concerning. Actually, this is something a friend of mine actually recently hurt his back, a tiler, and he's got a family and a mortgage, and it's and no income protection. So yeah, it's paramount.
And
Listen
it doesn't cost a lot, does it, Tony?
No, not at all. It's very cheap. So go out there, speak to your financial advisors, accountants, and take out some insurance. Okay, let's keep moving. This partner wins compensation over police sergeant suicide. John, what's this all about?
It's an interesting case, Tony. We've got a situation where the then Chief of Police, Simon Overland, has issued a certificate on the police officer, basically saying, you have to show cause why you're going to stay in the police force. In effect,
misconduct charge.
Exactly.
And he was dismissed over allegations that he had stored some pornographic material. And I guess the problem with, and then he later hung himself. I think the problem with this case was that he wasn't one of those risks for suicide. So what it does is raise alarms for employers and how they go about dismissing their staff, because he certainly wasn't one of those people that you would have thought would have taken this sort of action. What's come out of this is that his partner has been awarded compensation in a six-figure
for loss of dependency, John.
So, I mean, yeah, it's a tragic case nonetheless, but I think what this does is certainly raise alarm bells for all employers to think about how you actually are going to go about dismissing your staff.
Sadly, we've come to that part of the show. We've got to keep moving and we've got to go to a sponsors break. Viv, thanks for coming on board.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
You'll stay tuned for after the break. We're going to have a riveting discussion with Josh Fergeus about asbestosis.